Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be doing another hotel review vlog. This time it's called Tribe in Auckland. It actually just opened up this month, I think like a week ago. So I thought I'd come and check them out. I'm a paying guest, so I booked ahead of time and asked if I could film, and they were really cool with that, which is great. But I really like the look. It's kind of like an urban traveller vibe, kind of more industrial, which is really sweet. And it's a smaller kind of boutique hotel as well, but they've got various other hotels around the world. So I'll link all the details in the description bar below for the Tribe hotels. But this one's just opened up in Auckland, so it's my first time checking out any of the Tribe brand. And I booked into, I think it's a Tribe Essential room, which was like windowless, which I think is one of their kind of budget, more affordable rooms. And look, was fine for me. I'm only here for the night, but I just checked in and the ladies there were really lovely and said I got like a free upgrade. So I'm not quite sure whether this is a max or an extra room because there's different levels, but this one has got a window, which is lovely, but not essential because I'm only here for the one night. But I will tell you at the end of the video how much I paid for the room and what I thought, but I'll swivel the phone around and we'll just check out what we think. So as you kind of walk into the room, you've kind of got this mixture of kind of dark metals, like a huge mirror, which I'm all about huge mirrors, and also the power points at the bottom, so if you can have your straighteners in your hairdryer and everything. And you've got this kind of brushed black metal with some picture frames, and then you've got kind of a funky, really lovely blue wood at the bottom, which is nice, quite a nice contrast. And then you've got, again for space, you can obviously put out your suitcase if you have one. Today I don't have a suitcase, but always handy to have. Looks like there's a steamer, which is good, and various things to hang up. I guess this is meant to be like the wardrobe, because I don't think there's a wardrobe in here. So it's all kind of like urban kind of vibes, so very kind of minimal, but I guess this is a wardrobe. I don't think there was a wardrobe when I came in. So that would be probably a bit strange, maybe if you've got loads of luggage, you're here for quite a long time. I'm only here for the night, so it's not a problem, but you've got the hangers, not any branding. It would have been nice to see a bit of Tribe branding, but obviously just hanging up. So I guess you'd use these as well. Not quite sure what they're for. They don't come off, but you've got something to put your luggage, and then you've got some power points there. Quite a bit of space, but it is quite unusual use of the space with regards to not having actual physical wardrobe. Then you've got the bed, which again, space under the bed, which I always like for suitcases. Easy to walk around. Really nice bed. I think this is a queen or maybe a king bed. And then you've also got really nice side table, got a little bit of branding, notepad and pen. I've got room only, but I think you can pay extra for breakfast. So if you wanted that, I'll put the details in the description bar below for that as well. And then at the top, again, it's all very industrial. So you've got the main part of this building, and then you've kind of got the black trim with a little bit of lighting. Nice side tables. And then you've also got the side lamps as well. Extra power points. Always love extra power points and USBs. And then, oh, you've got in here, oh, there's the safe right by the bed. I think that's it for storage. I do quite like the underfloor kind of, under the kind of, what would you call it, lighting underneath the drawer. That's quite nice. Then you've also got a massive TV, absolutely huge TV. And this is kind of an internal wall just to kind of separate it out. Then you've got kind of a nice seating area, just one seat. If you're here as a couple, you'd probably need another seat, I'd imagine. Fine for me for the time being. Looks like they've left me a little note. If you're a Jocelyn, welcome to Tribe. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. We hope your stay brings you comfort, relaxation and wonderful memories. Again, enjoy your stay. Warm regards to the Tribe team. That's really lovely. I think these are complimentary. Quite sure. An iced tea and some snacks. I don't actually drink alcohol, so this is really quite nice as having an iced tea. So yeah, nice to have a nice chair, quite a cozy chair. You could also probably work from here as well. That would be quite good. But I would say it would be handy to have another seat, because if you are here as a couple or with a friend or traveling with other people, there's plenty of room for other seats. But I think maybe they've just put one out for me because I'm staying here on my own. But yeah, that would be nice. Then you've also got the Nespresso machine. clean. Again, I don't drink coffee, but always handy to have. Got some hot chocolate, might have that later. Teas and coffees, nice mugs. And obviously everything's kind of immaculate because it has literally only opened about a week ago. So this is the fridge, a small fridge, empty, a little bit of long life milk, but I will put some stuff in there and maybe some waters for me. But again, super handy to have the fridge. And I really like, again, the lighting underneath the kind of drawers. And then you've got this pretty large window. I'm hoping it's kind of darkened outside, otherwise people can see right in. So maybe I have to check that out later. Not a huge amount of privacy otherwise. And this, I think, is just a car park straight ahead. And then just some of the buildings. But this is basically Fort Street along the bottom. Oh, makes me go a bit funny, a bit high up. And then there's just some restaurants. But again, nice space. I think as well, this kind of nook corner would be really good for like maybe a chaise longue, little mini one, or just something to kind of sit out. It looks a bit bare here. Maybe like some artwork, but maybe they're going for the minimal vibe, I'm not sure. They brought up my bags, which was really helpful. Now, this is the bed, and then next to it is the bathroom. Again, I like this kind of privacy glass, kind of blaring out a little bit. And again, to save with space, because the rooms are quite small and cosy, you've just got a drawstring, kind of a pull along door, as opposed to an open outdoor. Again, I love the flooring. This is kind of tile, and then you've got kind of a funky, really kind of plush carpet. And I like the contrast actually with the kind of the blue wood, the tiling, and then the carpet. It's quite nice. And then you've got a bit of blue feature here as well. So I think it all ties in really well. Now you've got the towels. Now have we got anything in here? Hairdryer. Okay, it's handy. Just a bin, toilet. Again, nice white tiles, and they've done the kind of grout in blue to match with the blue on the walls, which again, just a nice little touch. I really like that. More PowerPoints, so that's always handy for your straighteners. Lovely clean glasses. Oh, they're really delicate. Again, nice bit of branding. Try. Very clean sink. Quite a not very deep sink, quite large in size. So that looks really nice. And then you've got the mirror. And then we've got some hand and body wash, body lotion by Kevin Murphy. And then again, the tiling goes all the way through. They do have accessible rooms. This has obviously got like a little step here, but I do know they've got a handful of accessible rooms. Again, I'll put the details in the description bar about those. But a decent sized shower, all the tiles, everything's so spangly and new and clean and fresh, which I love. So that's also nice with the kind of black metal kind of effect opening in and out, really lovely. And then as you get in the shower, more of the Kevin Murphy products. So we've got conditioner, body wash and shampoo. And you've got two showers. You've got the rainwater shower and the regular shower head, all in this kind of brushed. Oh, it's really nice metal, very tactile to the touch. Not the biggest shower. You could probably only fit maybe 2 or 3 people in compared to other showers I've been into. But this is a smaller, more boutique hotel as well. So I think that's pretty good. But I think first impressions, really fresh, quite airy, love the window. So that's really nice. And I'm just loving all the kind of designs. It's just really fresh and modern, very urban as well with the kind of dark effect. I think I'm in room 404 and I think there's maybe 7 or 8 floors. So it is quite a small hotel, but super central. So we'll check out the bed. Bedding looks lovely. Lots of pillows. All very clean, but I'll look in more detail later and I'll let you know. They have got a restaurant here as well called Sienna, so I might pop down there later and check those out. So the Tribe Hotel basically has 7 floors and I think about 60 rooms, and some of those rooms are accessible, so that's really useful as well. I don't think they allow pets, and this is room only that I'm paying for this evening, but I think as an extra charge you can get breakfast. But again, I'll put all the details in the description bar below of the hotel. But this isn't sponsored. I'm a paying customer. I asked them in advance if I could film as well, and they were really okay with that. And I've come at a quiet time as well, so that's really good. But really keen to check these guys out. I like the location. Now, if you guys have seen any of my other videos, I also went to see So Auckland, which is actually literally around the corner from this hotel. So I'll put that video, the details in the description bar as well. But it's in a similar location. Tribe also have various other hotels around the world. I think there's some in Thailand, Paris, Paris. There's quite a few in France. So the couple that have set up the Tribe brand are Mark and Melissa Peters, and they've basically gone around and been setting up, I think they've got maybe another 40 hotels in the planning, but they have got quite a few currently. So I think maybe 20 already. So I'll put details of the other countries that they've got, but I think there's some in Thailand, Paris, there's quite a few in Europe, Australia, I think there's one in Perth. But yeah, I'll put the details about the hotel in the description bar. So far, just kind of sitting on the bed, very comfy. I quite like a hard bed. I'm not really someone that likes soft beds, and I don't actually sleep with pillows, so I probably won't need these pillows, but it's always good to have as well. But there's lots of space to walk around. It is still quite strange for me to not have a wardrobe, even though I'm only coming for the one night. I don't really have much luggage or a suitcase, but I can see why they've done it because of reducing the space. But I don't know if I'd want all of my clothes on show and all of my stuff maybe looking a bit messy. And if I had quite a lot of suitcases, it's great there's space underneath the bed for the suitcases, but you'd still be hanging stuff up. And I think they've only given me 5 hangers from what I can see. And for one person, that's probably not too bad. But if you're here for maybe a week as a couple, I'm not sure. I think that could be a bit difficult. I mean, I quite like emptying all my stuff out when I go to a place. I don't like to keep it all in my bag. So I don't know how that would work. But I can see why they've done it to reduce a lot of kind of the space. But loving the different colours, very bright and really nice. They gave me a little kind of complimentary snack and drink. Yeah, lovely. And I am gonna just have a bit of a walk around. They don't have any facilities like a gym or swimming pool because it is quite a small hotel, but they do have a restaurant downstairs called Sienna, and I think it's like a empanadas, kind of a Californian style cuisine, and that seems kind of quite bright and airy. If I've got any footage, I'll put it on screen as well. But tonight I'm going out for dinner with a friend, so I probably won't be eating at Sienna this evening, but we'll probably pop down and check out kind of their food, what their menu looks like. And I'm assuming that's where you actually have breakfast, but I will check with reception. It was easy to check in. They were really lovely. I arrived a little bit early and just kind of hung out downstairs, and they just took me upstairs. Really lovely, easy to get through. The lift was quite small, so it's quite a compact lift if you've got loads of luggage. But again, it's really nice that they've obviously got luggage, if you can kind of see underneath the bed. So that's really good because it gets it all out of the way. But then there is actually so much space around here. It is quite unusual to just have the one chair, especially if you're in like a double room. You know, if you've got friends or your partner's here, maybe they want another seat. But I might actually ask reception and see if I can have another seat brought up. Is that cheeky? I don't know if that's cheeky. Does that sound cheeky? But it would be nice when my friend comes over later for dinner. Maybe I will see if I can get another chair. We'll see what they say. I don't want to be too high maintenance, but that would be nice because at the moment there's nowhere for my friend to sit. It would just be me sitting there and then him in the bedroom. And because there's a wall between you, you're then separated out. So not as easy to chat. So I'll see whether they can give me a chair. That's one thing actually. I don't think there's, let me just check. It's not a phone. Let me just hover this around. I'm not sure if there was a phone. So just looking at the side of the bed, there is some more PowerPoints. Looks like there's another kind of empty drawer with a bit of extra lighting. I would say this little nook is super tight. I don't know if you can kind of see just here. I kind of tripped over my own legs walking around, and I'm quite short, but that is quite tight. Whoever sleeps on this side of the bed might be tripping over, so that's quite narrow. But it's the shape of the actual building as well, how they've done it. But possibly watch your legs. Not too wide going through here. Ow, I've just done it again. Scuffed my leg. I don't think there's a phone. Is that weird? I don't know if that's weird. It's definitely not a phone. There's an espresso, snacks, unless I'm being really blind, which is quite possible, but I can't see a phone. Okay, so that means I'm going to have to go all the way downstairs to then ask if I can get a chair. Right, I'm going to go downstairs and actually just ask them if I can get an extra chair, see if they're okay with that. So we'll see what they say. Okay, so I just spoke to the staff downstairs who were really helpful, really lovely ladies actually. Now, I mentioned earlier on about this kind of space here look really bare. They're actually waiting for some furniture to come from overseas, and it's going to be like a little seating, cosy area. She did just show me another room that's got the similar kind of seating, that if I got it, I'll put it on screen to show you. And it's like, it kind of complements the carpet. It's like a silvery, quite plush fabric. So that's meant to be here. So I did wonder, because of the kind of white open space, I was like, it looks really bare. The lady I spoke to, she brought this chair up for me. I didn't realise because the seating area hasn't arrived, but I'm totally fine with that. They've only been open a week, but it's nice to kind of get an idea of how it's going to look and everything. She'll bring up like another little seat if she's got one spare. But yeah, not all the furniture has come, which isn't a surprise. Trying to get things to New Zealand from other parts of the world can take a long time and usually involves a lot of delays, just from my personal experience with companies I've worked with. But that's totally cool. It makes sense having that space there where they're actually going to fit the seating. So that'll be lovely when it comes. But yeah, I'll put a picture on screen of another room that's got it already to give you an idea. But yeah, this is, the lady said that I've got a max room and I booked an essential room. So they upgraded me. I did go around and check out some of the other rooms that were available and the accessible rooms as well. So I'll put those on screen, link all the details in the description bar for all the different types that you can have. I think there's essential, windowless, essential with city view, then there's extra, and then max. This is one of the max ones. They did also say that they didn't think the windows, that they can see in, which is why they've put in fitted blinds. So I will bear that in mind when I'm walking along, because the bathroom's just here and the window's just here. So we don't want any accidents. Well, I don't anyway, but it's nice that they've got the blinds, and luckily it's not right by the bed, so it is a little bit more discreet as well. But that's really nice. I'm gonna just unpack a few bits and just settle in. I'm starving, so I can't wait to go for dinner. I'm gonna be going to Amano for dinner, and that's just across the road from Fort Street, so really convenient. But I will pop down to Sienna as well and maybe get a drink or a cocktail, like a mocktail. Yeah, so that's really good. And with regards to the telephone, now they don't have phones in the rooms unless it's an accessible room, but the way to communicate is that when you check in, you get access to like a WhatsApp chat, kind of an online setup. So before you check in online, you do get a message and you kind of log into this portal, and it's also information on the TV screen as well. So you just message that way. So that's something to bear in mind when you are here, especially from overseas. So obviously you would need a phone that would work to be able to make that kind of suitable. It is also free Wi-Fi in the room, downstairs in the hotel, in the kind of restaurant area as well. And the breakfast is actually in Sienna downstairs, so that's good. So it's literally on the ground floor. I'm just gonna kind of get comfy, maybe get a drink and settle down. Quite looking forward to having dinner later because I'm starving. I've not eaten anything all day, which is a bit silly. Dinner soon, so that'll be fun. But really nice first impressions. Staff were so lovely, so accommodating as well. And we'll see what it's like for the evening. So let's check out the TV and what they've got accessible. So they've got communication services, eat and drink, watch TV, neighbourhood and sustainability. So this is all the hotel information, free Wi-Fi. And if you're an Accure member, you get free internet, which is brilliant. And then you've got the breakfast information at the bottom, all down at this Sienna, and then you've got check-in details, checkout's 11. So let's just go back, just trying to work it on the remote. Oh, so these are the different room types. So you've got Tribe Essential City View, Tribe Extra City View, Tribe Max City View, and Tribe Max City View Accessible. So I think I'm in the Tribe Max City View, but I did book for the Tribe Essential. They just gave me a free upgrade, which was lovely of them, but I am a paying guest. Okay, so there's laundry, air conditioning. So that's good. Let's do communication. Okay, might have just gone a bit quick on the channel guide. So smart apps, Netflix, oh, YouTube. If you wanted to check out my YouTube videos while you're staying in this hotel, that's also an option if you just click the YouTube channel. And there's AirPlay, Google Cast and Miracast as well. So that's good. But yeah, if you want to watch YouTube and check out my channel, that's something to do. Let me know actually in the comments below whether you watch my videos on a TV, on a mobile, on your iPad, on your laptop. I do get stats, analytical stats about various regions that kind of watch on different devices, but let me know which way you prefer to watch YouTube. I generally watch it on my laptop as opposed to my TV, but I'd be curious to know how you guys watch me on the big screen. See what else they've got. So they've got, let's do eat and drink. So restaurant and bar. So this is Sienna. This is Sienna is an all-day in-house restaurant inspired by Californian hospitality, and they're the opening hours. So that's good. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, afternoon snacks, dinner. Quite a good selection. So it's the next morning and I thought I'd give you a bit of a summary of what I thought of my hotel stay at Tribe in Auckland. So I'll break it down into cons and pros. So for the cons, so for context, this hotel opened up about a week ago. I don't know if I'm the first person in this particular room. I'm in room 404. So they're obviously kind of settling in. And I did know when I spoke to the staff yesterday that they're still waiting on a bit of furniture. And there's this little kind of nook area that's kind of screaming out for their kind of little sofa, which I know is coming and will be lovely when it's here. But obviously during my stay, it's not arrived yet. So there was limited amount of seating space for me and my friend, which they were lovely. They brought up some extra chairs, so we had something to sit on. The fact that all of the furniture hasn't arrived yet from overseas is there's going to be some there, but while during my stay, there obviously isn't. So I've classed that as a bit of a con because I'm still a paying guest. But I like the fact that there is the space there to even have like a sofa kind of lounge area, which is lovely. I would also say for the bathroom, now I've noticed flushing the toilet, the cistern or something isn't really releasing. So it just keeps on trying to refill it with water. So there's a slight plumbing issue with that, which I've let the staff know. And again, I'm probably the first one staying in this room, but just, I mean, the toilet does work. It's just when you flush it, it just keeps on flushing and won't like release the mechanism. So we've had to like flush like 3 or 4 times just to try and get it to release. And so that's a bit of a negative. Then also I'd say I've made some notes. Some other negatives would be, me personally, I'm only here for the night. So I've got minimal amount of luggage and not much bags with me. But I would say the fact they don't have like an actual space for a wardrobe to be able to hang more than a couple of things up would be a negative if you're staying for longer and if you've got more luggage. So if you've come from overseas and this is like a stopgap and then you're going somewhere else, so you've got a lot of stuff with you. There's a limited amount of space. I like what they've done to accommodate that, but I think if you are here, it's just something to note. If you did want a wardrobe to be able to hang lots of stuff up, you wouldn't be able to do that in this type of room or in this hotel. Actually, I think across the board in each of the rooms, they don't actually have a wardrobe. So for me on the day, it's not been like essential because I've only got like one overnight bag. But I think as an overall negative, it's something to bear in mind due to kind of a space factor. Then I would say around the bed in this particular room. Now, I'm not sure if that's the same with all the other rooms, but in this room, on the corner of the bed, it's quite narrow the way the wall is. And just kind of, I've bumped my leg a few times because it's literally kind of centimetres gap between the wall and one of the corners of the bed. So that isn't ideal. But of course, if you move the bed further along, you're kind of eating into more of the space of the room as well. And so that, again, that's something to note. You can't particularly walk around the bed all the way around that easily, but that's a minor thing. Now on the pros, again, the bed was really comfy. I slept pretty well. I quite like quite a firm bed and it's not a soft bed, so it is really nice. Pillows were really comfy, even though I don't often use pillows, but these were quite nice. And then I quite like the fact that the window, it's quite a large window. It isn't kind of, I don't know what you call it. I don't think it's glazed. Well, I don't think it's kind of got like a covering on it, so people can see inside the bedroom from my understanding. But they have got 2 blinds, one kind of a blackout blind and one kind of regular blind. And that's really nice to have. And I suppose in a way as well, it's partially negative as a con because the way my room is that when I'm moving the button from the bed to do the blind up and down, because there's a wall in between that totally blocks out the window, I like that for privacy, which is lovely, but it means that I can't actually tell when the blind's up or down or which one I'm pressing. Of course, there's no labels on the buttons, so you can't really see. And of course, you have to hold down the button, which you then can't do if you're looking at the window. So that's like a practical thing to note, but I do really like having the big window. Some of these rooms are windowless, and actually I booked a Essential Tribe windowless room when I checked in, and they were kind enough to upgrade me to one of their max rooms, which does have a window. So it's just to bear in mind where the wall is. It's nice that it's discreet and it's away from the bed, but the practicalities of that mean that I then can't see the blinds going up and down and which ones I'm pressing and if it's up or down is a bit problematic, especially if you're here on your own, because you kind of need someone else to be able to tell you if the blind's up or down. But it is still a positive because I do like having a window, and it's a large window at that as well. Then I've put down the shower. So I tried the shower out this morning. It's got an overhead rain shower and a regular shower. Really nice, spacious, very clean, obviously, because it's new. Nice enough space, really big basin as well, and lots of mirrors in here. There's a good mirror in the bathroom, and there's also a mirror as you walk in, like kind of a decent one. And I like that, which is good. Loads of PowerPoints as well. So you can kind of use your straighteners and hairdryer and things. So that's really good, and that's a plus. And I'd also put down, I do think as well, even though I mentioned it in the con, because the seating area I can't see yet, but when it is actually here, I think it's going to be really nice. It's nice and cozy. You can sit somewhere, and it's on the side where the window is, so you can look out of the window. So I think having a bedroom, this max room anyway, big enough to have a little seating area, a little lounge area, I think is a plus. If you want to be able to do some work or just relax or have somewhere to kind of eat, have a drink, because it's by where the fridge is, and then an espresso machine. So it's in a really good position. So when the seating does arrive, I think that's going to be really nice. And I do like the colour tones. Across the bedroom, I like the blue. I like the really unusual carpet with the kind of red and the black. The industrial black metal look I really like, and that's across the board. And then actually the tiling, I like the tiling in the walkway and in the bathroom. It just mixes it up a bit, and it actually goes, I quite like the contrasting designs, and just the blue, the kind of blue board behind me, and then there's a big blue wall in front of me where the TV's on. So that's nice and striking. And it just looks kind of fresh and modern and really urban. It's like an urban traveller kind of style to it, I would say. Again, the location is a positive. It's right on Fort Street, which is in the centre of Auckland CBD. It's spitting distance to the water on the harbour and the port. So if you wanted to get a ferry, really handy. So I like that quite a lot. And I like the fact that it's just a smaller hotel. It's not massive. And the customer service was really good. That was a plus as well. All the staff I spoke to, really lovely, really helpful. When the lady came up and gave me an extra seat, that was really nice as well. And yeah, I mean, it's their kind of first week of opening. So there's going to be like the odd glitch or, you know, not everything arriving. And that's fine. Like, I totally understood that. When I booked, I knew it had only been open like a week. So I'm completely fine with that. But for added context, I thought I'd add them in the pros and cons anyway, just so if you guys do stay at one of the Tribe hotels, it's just something to note. What I'll do is I'll put on screen how much I paid for my room. So I originally booked the Tribe Essential windowless room, and it was 170 New Zealand dollars just for room only. But when I did get here, they did upgrade me free of charge to one of their max rooms. And if I've got the price of that, I'll put that on the screen as well, just for context. But that was a free upgrade. I'm paying for my Tribe Essential room, so which would be smaller. And if I've got any footage, I'll show you any images of that type of room as well, because it is smaller with no window. So, and I don't think it's got a lounge either. So it's very kind of bijou, kind of cozy vibes, which would have equally been good for me just for the one night. All in all, I thought it was really nice, really convenient. When we went out for dinner last night, if I've got any footage, I'll put it in. Easy walk, not even 5 minutes to a load of restaurants, bars around and speakeasies and things. So really good location for that. You're not kind of out in the sticks. So all in all, it was a really good stay. And again, I'll put all the details about the Tribe brand of all the different hotels. They've got a selection now. I'll put a link in the description bar below if you guys wanted to check them out. And definitely come if you're in Auckland and you want somewhere more affordable, easy, kind of cozy vibes, really central. Just come and check out the Tribe, guys. It's worthwhile. This is not sponsored. I'm a paying guest. I wanted to come and check them out. And I think as an urban traveller, if you're kind of, you know, here for a few days and you're going off somewhere else, I think it would be a really good location and a good setup for the hotel. Yeah, I've had a really good stay. I'm just going to pack up now and head out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys wanted to check out my hotel review playlist, I'll link that in the card in the corner and the description bar below. But I will be doing some other hotels coming up. I'm trying to do about one a month if I can, depending on my travel schedule. And it's just really fun trying to start this off. And let me know in the comments below of what you guys thought, if there's any other hotels or chains you wanted me to review. And I'll probably do some more in the next year as well. I think I've done maybe 3, maybe 4 so far. So it's been really good fun, and it gives me a good kind of idea of locations as well, because I have done a few in Auckland in New Zealand, and I will be doing some more overseas as well. But if you guys are new to my channel and wanted to subscribe, just click the subscribe button below. It is free to do so. And I've also got memberships on my channel as well. So if you click the join button, it'll break down all the different membership tiers that I've got. I'm going to head out now, get changed, get ready, freshen up and check out. So it's been a really lovely experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. soon.